Yeah, I don't know. I
Mayor, you ready?
Yes, let's begin.
Good evening. This is a meeting of the Borough of Highlands Mayor and Council regular meeting on Wednesday, March 16, 2022. The notice requirements provided for the Public Meetings Act have been satisfied. Notice of this meeting was properly given by transmission to the Asbury Park Trust and the Two River Times, and by posting at the Borough of Highlands Municipal Building and filing with the Borough Clerk, all on January 1st, 2022. Items listed on the agenda are subject to change. I will now do roll call. Councilmember Cervantes. Councilmember Chalak. Councilmember Melnick. Council President Chesky. Mayor Briand.
Here.
We have a quorum. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I was allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I was going to say, looking for Sergeant Joe Rogers. For those of you that are not aware, Sergeant Rogers retired, and we just wanted to thank you. And I want to thank you for the 25 years of dedicated service that you spent serving us state, presented on behalf of the grateful citizens and the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Highlands. At this time, we would also like to honor and thank Detective Corporal George Root. Thank you for the 25 years of dedicated service you spent keeping us safe. Presented on behalf of the grateful citizens and the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Highlands.
Thank you very much, Mayor. We're here to celebrate the careers of two wonderful police officers here tonight. Sergeant Joseph Rogers and Detective Corporal George Root, who served the Borough of Highlands for 25 years in the police department. I could use COVID as an excuse, but not doing this sooner is my fault, and I take responsibility for that. It's all to be my apologize. I used COVID as a little bit of an excuse when we came back here to real meetings and having these meetings. Sergeant Joseph Rogers started the Highlands Police Department in 1994. He was hired as a full-time officer in 2000 and sergeant in 2005. For those of you who don't know, in the Highlands Police Department, a small department, each officer has a lot of responsibilities, wears a lot of hats throughout their career. Sergeant Rogers was my mentor. I started under Sergeant Rogers. Before I became a police officer, he was the one who showed me the ropes. He was the one I aspired to be like. He was the one who showed me how to do the job. So I thank him for that, and I have thanked him for that in person in the past. During his tenure, his duties included juvenile officer, air officer, detective, narcotics officer, narcotics supervisor, Monmouth County Task Force Entry Team, Internal Affairs Officer, Evidence Officer, Megan's Law Officer, Office of Emergency Management, Liaison Officer, Homeland Security Officer. He was also a member of the PBA, served in the PBA office as an officer for numerous years. Sergeant Rogers received numerous commendations throughout his career, including the Life-Saving Medal, the Meritorious Service Medal, countless thank you cards, and notes in his file. And before he retired, he looked through his file, so I got to see that myself before he moved on to his new career. He was also a recipient of the Drug Buster Medal. So here tonight I have for Sergeant Rogers, which is about time his retirement day. And I have this. This is something new that I think is really nice. This has presented to Sergeant Joseph J. Rogers, Highlands Police Department, on the occasion of his retirement after 25 years of loyal service. In recognition of a career spent serving others and the acknowledgement of an outstanding dedication to the residents of the borough of Highlands. One other note, he's also been a fireman here for quite some time. Next, we have Detective Corporal George Ruth, who started his career with the Howard Police Department in 1996 as a special law enforcement officer in 1998. He was a full-time officer in 2002 and was a corporal in 2017. Again, George and Matt Cheswick is here, Sergeant Matt Cheswick from the Howard Police Department. And we were young officers together, and we were called the co-conspirators together. Matt's in the back and he's laughing right now. We almost had patches made up because the older officers thought we were always conspiring to do something inside the police facility. George is another officer who went above and beyond. George was there on his own time a lot. George did a lot for free. George sacrificed a lot for the borough of Highlands for its residents. During his career, he served as a tax officer, which is the terminal agency coordinator for state computers, the domestic violence officer, the active shooter instructor, firearms instructor, narcotics officer. He was on the Bayshore Task Force entry team. He was the assistant instructor with the State Division of Criminal Justice. He served as detective, juvenile officer, and most notably, as you all probably know, he was the Explorer advisor for Police Explorer folks. He did an outstanding job in bringing that to where it is today. He still continues to mentor our officers today to give all the kids the best possible environment that they can have and hopes of their future law enforcement career. He served as the evidence officer. Again, he served on the PBA executive office as well. Some commendations, and not to list them all, but the Meritorious Service Medal, Exceptional Service Medals, and countless thank you cards and notes in his file. Both Sergeant Rogers and Detective Corporal Ruth served on the Howard Police Department during 9/11, during Hurricane Irene, during Hurricane Sandy, and the pandemic. That's a lot in your career. That's a lot to go through. So with that, I'd like to give Sergeant Detective Corporal Ruth his retirement badge. Congratulations. He was asked me for it a few times. Here his finally today. On the occasion of his retirement after 25 years of loyal service, in recognition of the career spent serving others, and the acknowledgement of outstanding dedication to the residents of the borough of Highlands. Thank you. I do have one other thing. I don't want to take away from the service and the outstanding achievements of both of these officers. But I have one special thing tonight, and I'm a member of several organizations, including Bayshore Chiefs Association, Monmouth County Chiefs of Police Association, the State Chiefs Association, and the International Association of Chiefs of Police. So right around this time last year, I was solicited, we all were, as chiefs of police throughout the entire world, to select and nominate a person who demonstrated outstanding ability to lead. And I nominated Captain George Rogers. So the annual IACP, which is the National Association of Chiefs of Police, 40 under 40, recognizes 40 law enforcement professionals under the age of 40 from around the world who demonstrate leadership, exemplify commitment to their profession, and have a positive impact on the communities in the field of policing. The profession chosen as the 2021 40 under 40 awardees represent the rising leaders of policing in all of ranks. They serve their agencies and communities with excellence, whether they are civilian staff, line officers, or chiefs of police. This year's awardees include public information officers, special agents, captains, lieutenants, section and department leads, victim services staff, inspectors, deputy chiefs, and others. They hail from 6 countries and represent local, state, and provincial, national, and military police and law enforcement agencies. These extraordinary individuals are motivated to lead their agencies into the future. and they encourage colleagues to grow professionally and personally, striving daily to provide best-in-class services that lead to a safer, more inclusive, and more peaceful world. Regardless of role, rank, or agency, these professionals have dedicated their efforts to raising the bar for policing and serve as role models to those they work with, as well as the community members they serve. 2021 40 under 40 class members each bring their own skills, talents, and perspectives, policing profession. But they all share important characteristics: the spirit of collaboration, the drive to help others, innovation and creativity, leadership, and the desire to make a difference in their communities and profession. Each winner was chosen for his or her demonstration of strong values, leadership capability, and commitment to the law enforcement field. They emit positivity, compassion, and energy, despite the challenging circumstances that all law enforcement personnel face. They provide training and mentorship for others, and develop more effective methods for their agency and drive advancements in technology and policy. The awardees consistently show their dedication and community throughout community service, programs, outreach, and education going beyond their roles in the law enforcement field to make the world a better and safer place for their loved ones. I received a letter in June of this year. Dear Captain George Roski, this was addressed to both myself and him. Congratulations on being selected as one of the International Association of Chiefs of Police 40 under 40 award winners in 2021. The award is an incredibly talented, accomplished, and dedicated group of individuals who demonstrate leadership and exemplify a deep commitment to the profession. As police officers, sometimes we don't necessarily sign up for this job to get the medals, to get the awards, to get the accommodations. We do it because this is what we want to do. This is what we strive to do. Some of us, this is what was born for. So humble is a word to use. All of these officers are very humble, and Captain Roxby didn't want really anybody to know about this, but I thought that it was really outstanding that he was chosen as one of the top 40 under 40 in the world. So with that, he was featured in this year's September magazine. This is the 40 under 40 I just read. This is his little blurb right here. So what he did was Captain Roxby. One day he's going to be in office.
I had no idea this was happening. I thought this was going to be part of my retirement.
Thank you, everyone.
Well done, everyone. Well done, everyone.
Next, we have approval of minutes. At this time, we have March 2nd, 2022, meeting minutes.
Hold on.
I'll second. Councilmember Savantes?
Yes.
Councilmember Chalak?
Yes.
Councilmember Melnick?
Yes.
Council President Woshewski? Yes. Mayor Brian?
Yes.
Motion passed. Motion carries to approve March 2nd, 2022 meeting minutes. Next, we have March 2nd, 2022 executive session minutes.
Hold on for that as well.
I'll second. Councilmember Savantes? Councilmember Chalak? Yes. Councilmember Melnick?
Yes.
Council President Woshewski? Yes. Mayor Brian?
Yes.
Motion carries to approve March 2nd, 2022 executive session minutes. Next, we have public hearing on proposed ordinances.
Introduction.
Oh, introduction, sorry. We have ordinance 02206, bond ordinance providing for the reconstruction of the skate park at Snug Harbor Park, appropriating $650,000, therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $500,247 bond and notes to finance a portion of the cost thereof, authorized in and by the Borough of Highlands in the County of Monmouth, New Jersey.
Pat, can you speak to this before we go on?
Yep, sure. So
So here we have an ordinance, setting up $650,000 for the skate park, that's the park right here, actually right there. And it does authorize $500,000, 247 of possible bonds. I understand there may be other funding sources, and that's good news. So, if we get other funding sources, we just simply reduce our bonds by those amounts. So we encourage everyone to get those grants in.
Okay, excellent. With that, I'll offer.
Second.
Councilmember Savantes?
Yes.
Councilmember Schlack?
Yes.
Councilmember Melnick?
Yes.
Council President Chesky? Mayor Brian?
Yes.
Motion carries to pass the ordinance on first reading with a public hearing to be held on April 6th, 2022. Next, we have ordinance O-2207, bond ordinance providing for the phase 1 and 2 sanitary sewer improvement projects, appropriating $4,500,000, therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $4 million, $4,6,592.44 bonds and notes to finance a portion of the cost thereof, authorized in and by the Borough of Highlands in the County of Monmouth, New Jersey.
This one I can speak to because we've been talking about it for quite some time. This is the 2018 plan for stormwater, not stormwater, sorry, sanitary sewer improvements for Lincoln Ave, Woodwich Ave from 36 to Marine Place, and all Bay Avenue from Bradley Point to the Circle. It also includes North Street, Bradley Point Route, William, Ocean, Central, Beach Boulevard, and then part 2 is Snug Harbor, Washington, Beetle, Recreation, and Sherwood. So all of those streets are going to get branded sanitary. If there's storm issues that we find, we'll fix some of those along the way. New laterals, sidewalks, and finally paving. It's going to be a long, messy project. It's a lot of streets. It's a lot of money. But we got some really great funding from IBank, $1.5 million thereabouts. So it's going to start soon. We're looking to award this project this evening last week, or the week before that. And we're just finalizing all the paperwork, so we should be awarding this project at the next meeting. And with that, I'll offer.
Councilmember Savantes?
Yes.
Councilmember Schlack?
Yes.
Councilmember Melnick?
Anybody wants some map on those streets, feel free to go to the website, go to municipal projects, second page, waterway, storm and sanitary, and take a look and see all those streets that you may have just outlined, but it's a yes.
Council President Chesky? Mayor Brian?
Yes.
Motion carries to pass this ordinance on first reading with a public hearing to be held on April 6th, 2022. Next, we have ordinance O-2208, calendar year 2022, ordinance to exceed the municipal budget appropriation limits and to establish a cap bank.
And Patrick, I will ask for you to again, I know you explain it every year, but you do it so well.
Actually, I had a lot of help from the council here. Okay, so, we really, I have to start off by saying this, we really don't need this, right? So, because we're well within our budget caps, but the reason why we always put this on every year, and it does get approved by council every year, is that it enables the town to keep a capped bank. And what would you do with the cap bank in case there's anything that comes at us, in a certain way, a storm or something that we need to tap into additional appropriations? This would help protect the town. The example we used last year is sort of like the credit limit on a credit card. You don't use it unless you really have to use it. I can tell you in the last 10 years, we haven't used it, but it's something that we always encourage to be done, so I request your support.
Absolutely. And I'll offer it. Thank you. I'll second.
Councilmember Savantes?
Yes.
Councilmember Schlack?
Yes.
Councilmember Melnick?
Yes.
Council President Chesky? Mayor Brian?
Yes.
Motion carries to pass the ordinance on first reading with a public hearing to be held on April 6th, 2022. There is no public hearing on proposed ordinance, so then we have resolutions. First up, we have R 083, resolution awarding contract for Kelly Winthrop LLC for deer carcass removal.
I'll offer.
Councilmember Cervantes?
Yes.
Councilmember Schlack? Yes. Councilmember Melnick? Council President Chesky? Mayor Brian?
Yes.
Motion carries to adopt resolution 22083. Next, we have R 22084, authorizing the budget to be read by title.
I'll offer that as well.
I'll second.
Councilmember Cervantes?
Yes.
Councilmember Schlack? Yes. Councilmember Melnick? Council President Chesky? Mayor Brian?
Yes.
Motion carries to adopt resolution 22084. Next, we have R 22085, introduction of municipal budget for the year 2022.
Before I offer that, I just wanted to give everyone a couple of notes on this budget that Patrick and Michael and Spencer and I all worked on. This is the lowest rate that we've had since 2011. This marks 3 consecutive years of the rate going lower, which has never happened before. This is a $200,000 less than this year's budget than last year's budget, and the last time that we had a year-over-year budget decrease was 2015 to 2016. So we're being mindful and respectful and still trying to get all of the projects done that we can do. And with the help of some of those grants that Patrick was talking about, we're able to do more. And with that, I will.
I'll second.
Councilmember Cervantes?
Yes.
Councilmember Schlack?
Yes.
Councilmember Melnick? Council President Chesky? Mayor Brian? Motion carries to pass municipal budget on first hearing, with a public hearing to be held on April 20th, 2022. Next, we have R 22086, resolution authorizing self-examination of budget.
I'll offer.
Second.
Councilmember Cervantes?
Yes.
Councilmember Schlack? Yes. Councilmember Melnick?
Yes.
Council President Chesky? Mayor Brian?
Yes.
Motion carries to adopt resolution 22086. Next, we have consent agenda, which includes R 22087, resolution authorizing payment of bills. R 22088, resolution authorizing the application to the NJDCA Local Recreation Improvement Grant. R 22089, authorizing refund of tax rate payments. R 22090, resolution authorizing the refund of curb cut escrow deposit fee. R 22091, resolution approving contract agreement with Dynamic Testing Services for drug and alcohol testing services.
I'll offer them.
I'll second.
Councilmember Cervantes?
Yes.
Councilmember Schlack? Yes. Councilmember Melnick? Council President Chesky? Mayor Brian?
Yes.
Motion carries to adopt resolutions R 22087 through R 22091. Next, we have other business. Initial review, street vacancy at 72 4th Street.
And Mayor, if I may jump in, this is certainly not a procedure that comes up terribly often, so I just wanted the background for everyone in the room. Street vacation procedures are established for when either a street, alley, any sort of right of way is applied for to be removed from the public purpose and then revert back to the adjacent property owners. The borough has its own particular procedure in the borough code, it's section 8.3 of the borough's code, outlining the basic process by which any resident can apply for street vacation on an adjacent right of way. So we have an application here before us tonight. It's only on for an initial review procedure. It's not a final determination. It's just a process by which the governing body can hear the facts of the case, determine what exactly is going on in the area in question, and asking questions of the applicant. Ultimately, that would need to be approved by an ordinance or an adoption at a later date. So at this time, I think, Mr. Link in the room?
Yes, sir.
All right, so we'll hear from you just to give an outline of what you're asking for, just give us a little more information, and then the governing body can ask.
Do you want to stand up somewhere, or what? Oh, there's a podium? Okay, all right, hello, everybody. So when I initially purchased a property on 74th Street, after having a survey done, the survey company, pointed out that there was a 5-foot alleyway that the town used to use back in the day when everybody used to walk through the block to get to the beach and have access to it. So after he made that, apparent to me, I, in order to process it down, once everybody realizing that, the property, that alleyway was actually taken over by the properties behind me. So now what I have is considered like a dead space. So there's 5 feet on the side of my property line that goes nowhere. So it's a dead end. So ultimately, it's just a dead space. So ultimately, the house that's on the grounds now, which is being torn down as of this week, the new structure would actually fall under the required zoning requirements of the town. Unlike the old structure I was on the property did. I would put a new structure on the property and I would have the required 4 feet, setback on one side, 30 feet on the right-hand side, which that's how the new structure is put up. Because that's right now the old house that's on the property doesn't fall under the current zoning requirements. So essentially, I guess what I'm asking for is, I'm essentially asking for a yes of the house. I'm asking for a put of the 5 feet easement so I can shift the new house over and shift over a foot. Right, so asking for, out of the 5 feet, I need a foot of to build a new house, I guess, ultimately, which would fall under the current guidelines or zoning requirements for free, which are the setbacks on each side, that's required currently. So I guess that's, I also have pictures to kind of better explain it. I'm not a contractor, I'm not an investor, I'm just a local guy trying to build a house for my family, and that's where I'm at. So hopefully that answers most questions. I guess the pictures will probably do more justice, but if anyone has any questions, I guess anyone has any questions.
I just want to make sure I heard you clearly. If you get this property, would you still need a variance?
Well, it's still the variance. No, because out of 5 feet, you need 4 feet on one side, which, so no, I don't think I would actually.
So you're looking for the entire thing?
No, I'll take whatever I can get. No, I appreciate that. Because, as of right now, in the 25-foot block, I can go with 18 foot block. It's a very narrow house. So if I can get an extra foot or two, but, again, I'm just, no, I don't want the whole flat. No, I don't. If my zoning requirements are right now, I'm using 4 feet on one side and 8 feet on the other. I'm well aware of that. So, no, I'm not looking to.
Okay.
No. Again, if I was told, if I was on zoning requirement, that's what she told me. You need 4 feet or 3 feet? I said, perfect. So that means,
So briefly, normally when we talk about street vacations, it's not only taking up the piece of whatever you're asking for, but normally if it's not needed for any public purpose, what would happen is you would take to the center line of the area that you're looking to vacate. So if it's 5 feet total now, normally the process is you would get to the half, and the adjacent neighbor would get to the half, which, if I understand you correctly, should do exactly what you're asking for. I do also want to point out a couple things. I know, at least on the initial tax maps that we did, it looks like there's some utilities in that alleyway, is that right?
correct, which is another, I just want to tell everybody that lives there, it's holding up the, that's over the utility pole, which is notified, so that everything's, I don't
Now, one of the statutory requirements that this does ultimately go through is the easement has to remain in place to allow access of the utility functions to the utilities in the alley. So I just want to make you aware that even if you're asking for this, if you acquire the property, it doesn't mean you can go knocking down those utilities in that easement area. Those would still have to remain unless we negotiate separately with the utility company, which is out of arguments. Okay? And are you asking for, I guess, the entire alley to be vacated, or is it just the portion next to your property? I'm trying to look at this.
The current property that sits is what's over here. If the house is still standing, and I shift it over, you have to go over to the left, right? And then that would fall over the guidelines, right? Is that accurate?
The length of the property, the length of the lot, or?
No, they only allow a certain percentage of a house to go into the built house. I can only build like 30, I forget the map that's broken out.
Yeah.
It only goes, I think, 45 feet, out of the 100 foot lot, and have 45 feet to go into the structure. I was on that. So,
Yeah, I know. Have you been in contact with it?
all of them. All of them. I mean, the house is going to change.
For sure.
Yeah, I've been in contact with all my neighbors, I've introduced myself, with them, what I'm trying to do, I'm not trying to.
No, of course.
Take hold. I've been introduced, I've introduced myself to everyone, it's not
Great one.
Do any of the neighbors have any issue with those street vacations?
I think some of them, I know a lot of people in general, but really, I've been here since they moved here, come over, so I know a lot of people try and pull that down. A few people, I think, were uneducated in what I was trying to do, which maybe I didn't make it clear, and maybe that's my error, I'm not very educated in what's going on now, I'm just a normal guy, I'm trying to do it. So, I think most people that I heard feedback from, most people don't understood what I was trying to accomplish, what I was trying to do. I think that's the problem. I don't want to build one, I don't want to take the 5 feet.
You're not building.
Yeah, I don't want to go 5 feet over and look at the skyscraper. I'm just saying, if you look at the pictures, you clearly see, we don't have the house prior, fenced in, the whole property, like electric, it's been forever, right? And you can clearly look outside the house and say, oh, okay, now I see what you're getting at. It's already been fenced in and acquired by the previous owners, no one's ever bothered to care about it, or doing about it, because they're developing. It's rolling now because I'm trying to build the whole process and change it, so I don't, does that help?
Yep. So you're looking for 2.5 feet, half of that 5 feet, as the attorney explained, and that you would, allow the easement to stand, so that things are to communicate to those overhead lines that can be done. That's my understanding of what you're saying.
Yeah, that's what I think. There's always, that's all right.
Anyone else have any other questions?
Because if the property's on the side and it doesn't change the fence line and move it over, you're gonna have 2 feet of just empty dead space, it just becomes just another 2 feet of dead space again. I don't know, it's just my. If it makes it,
Is that a property owner interested in acquiring that 2.5 feet?
anyone here that has an objection that wants to purchase it or pay for the extra fees involved, I don't think they can.
I have the adjacent property, and I'm a little bit concerned about, having a new house that, kind of encroaches on my, living space or my reading space, I should say. But I assume this gentleman is the attorney?
Correct.
Okay, he said, you divide it in half, and does that work if they divide it in half?
I guess that's the consensus that makes it simple, I guess, but simple doesn't mean it's the best decision, I guess. Because at that point, if we divide it in half, we need to break
So
up.
you were assuming that you're gonna get all 5 feet?
I know, as I explained before, I don't want to build it, you need to build it 5 feet. I'm still going to put a fence up on my, I'm not building on the 5 feet. What I'm saying is if I use, we settle with the agreement, 2.5 feet, that means your fence line needs to be taken down pushed back to be up against my 2.5 feet, and then have to put a new fence.
I don't have those, I don't have those.
The side of the property, the fence on my property.
I live on Cedar Street.
Yeah, it's clearly in the pictures that
Can you say your name as well?
I'm Rob Neller. I live at 27 Cedar Street, which is the adjoining property to 72.
the same portion of the left-hand fence line. It's clearly in the picture showing, it's clearly the fence clearly on the left-hand side. That needs to be recognized.
I can't see that.
Sorry.
That's not my fence. I didn't put that up.
That's your property. It's not fine. Okay. Okay. So we're just talking about this. This is the fence that you're,
I have to know I didn't put that up. I assumed 72.
sure.
But I've only been here since then, so, you know, I don't know the entire history. And that's really why I came tonight, to find out the history of this easement and, you know,
Sure.
what was gonna happen.
An interesting part of that.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
The store.
Are you, if the street vacation were to go through, are you interested in acquiring half of that alleyway, 2.5 feet?
Name your price. Name your price.
It would revert to you.
It would revert to me. Well, yeah, I'd like more property.
So legally, as I was saying before, legally, the standard operation is the adjacent property owners take to the center line of any right of way. So that is the basic standard that you're looking at in any street vacation. If you two were to separately negotiate some agreement on where to divide that property, that's entirely permissible, that's entirely up to you two. But if the application does go forward, that would be the baseline that you're looking at.
I think something simple for this.
That's the way it's
If he finds value, it must be for us to split the cost of putting the fence up. I think that's fair. If you want to put the fence up, just split up.
I don't own that fence. You can take it down, you can knock it down.
Okay. If we want a fence between the yard ones, knock it down, and we'll just say, you own that 2 feet, I own it. Just simple.
Any other questions about everybody? Anyone else in the audience have anything they want to ask or anything they want to say?
So do all parties agree?
So from here, right now, what we would do is have a council motion to either approve the initial request. If that passes, then what would happen is the applicant is required to post an escrow if you haven't already. I believe it's 2,500 in the code. That applies to any professional fees that are required for a code engineer review of the area in question, potentially draft the ordinance and the surveys that are required to effectuate these street vacations. And then ultimately, if that ordinance is adopted, it's recorded in county records. Once that happens, it will be final, and, say they split in half, then you just deal with the owners of the area in question.
Are you okay with that? Are you okay with that?
Okay, so with that, yeah, very good
Second. Wait, I had Mayor Brianna motioning and then, okay. So, Councilmember Cervantes?
You guys are great. Yeah.
Councilmember Black? Councilmember Melnick? Council President Majeski? Mayor Brianna?
Yes.
Motion carries to adopt or to go forward with the vacation of 72 4th Street. Next we have reports.
Someone would like to start us off? Yes. Thank you.
All right. Okay, so start with communications. Take this one. So, for communications, Jack Kane and Brian Nash are working on an online submission form. So if you go to the website, you can fill out the pre-set forms for like code enforcement or like a rec contact. But this is to allow our local groups to submit their postings to the website. So we keep talking about let's engage with our local community organizations, so like the Lions Club, the Garden Club. We want to make it easier for them to do that and not have to worry about whose email to send it to. So we're looking to make an online form for them to submit their content, and then we'll have someone from Borough review it, and then if everything looks good, we'll post it to the website. If it's on the website, it in turn becomes part of our weekly digest. If you haven't signed up, sign up. You get it sent out to your email every Friday at 10 a.m. So again, we're a megaphone for our community organizations, so Jackie and Miranda are leading that charge. Kurt Martin is wrapping up the details on the initial outreach to our HOAs and our condo associations to promote the adoption of the website to make sure that they all join our mailing list. We want to make sure that every part of the town is aware of what's going on in town. So again, sign up for our mailing list. Be aware of all the events and all of the coming and goings in town this week and today. I know we had an event on the bridge. We had an update on the website. I know we posted a social as well. But sometimes if you hit them with the email, that might be the message for delivery for an individual. Any means to get you that information, we're looking to get it out to you. And then lastly, for communication, Madison Gunzel has got a first draft of that welcome kit. She and Miranda are working offline for a complete review, so that by the April meeting, we'll have something for the broader committee to review and hopefully move forward with. But it is our signature item for this year, and then welcome it off the ground. Shade Tree Highlands has gotten its 4th year of City USA designation. So we're in Highlands, 4th in a row. We'll be celebrating that this year again at the Pride Highlands Day, which is Sunday, April 23rd. So that's another good accomplishment for year 5 next year. But great job from the DPW working in partnership with the Shade Tree Initiative. We also have in the works draft language on the simplified right-of-way guidance for tree trimming. We're going to work through that and submit it to legal for review so that we can put that out. And again, it's not replacing the tree trimming or tree removal application, but simply getting easier guidance to make it more clear on how folks can do the tree removal process. Because looking through even the protection that is in there for the form itself is a little complicated for people to understand. And then lastly, for shade trees, currently is on us, and so I know Spencer from DPW is looking for some trees, or at least that in some potential other locations in town, so as soon as the weather warms up, we're hoping to see some trees going in the ground. I know it's a good thing for the town, for the environment. So it's a good job of the Shade Tree in partnership with the DPW. And last committee, open space, we're excited. We heard today the adoption of that ordinance or that resolution for our skate park. Get that into the funding phase so that we can move on with construction. We saw that final design come out of Swan Ranch. It looks great. It's much different than what we have seen in our last public session, so very excited to see that being built for the adults and kids in town. Nice concrete structure, another addition to Highlands. Looking into our next project for this year, open space is looking for areas where we could find a suitable location for a kayak launch, which would be nice. So we can legally put our kayaks in the water, as you know, there's illegal launching place for kayaks in town, but it's in a private area. And then lastly, we're supporting Spencer and DPW grant submission through ARP, looking for if you were in attendance or saw the replay of last week or last meeting, those concrete structures for park equipment, like gaming tables, so to add those over to the Veterans Park. So I know that submission is well underway. So hopefully we'll get more equipment available for us in town. I know that we still have some engineering still to be looked at for Overlook Park, getting that moving along. So excited to see another park come online as well for the town. Last thing for my area is if I'm correct. So 18th this Friday is that Grab and Go Irish dinner here at the State Park TV. 6:30, if you want to have, nice Irish, dinner on Friday, don't forget the RSVP on the website, borough.org. COVID testing continues, believe it or not. Mondays in March, 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. here at the Rec Center. On the 21st, there's a parent workshop topic for social isolation, for kids, who are in grade 6 to 8, helping parents in those, age groups cope with that. That's on Monday, on the 21st at 7 p.m. A little video of some of the April events. April 3rd, which is Sunday, yoga, morning, 9:30 a.m. So wake up early, come on down to the Rec Center for some free yoga. Monday, next day, fourth, craft social and coffee, 10 a.m. here. And we have a bingo fest on, the 8th, 10 a.m. It's Friday for adults. And then the next day, before 9, is for kids, 12 p.m. Saturday. Saturday's a big day for Highlands. Beach weeks. There's actions in town. They're all over up and down the coast, actually, but in a couple of beaches in town, including right out here. So Clean Ocean Action is all around New Jersey. From 9 a.m. to 12:30, feel free to sign up at cleanoceanaction.org to volunteer for the beach weeks. There's one in the spring, one in the fall. It's the spring, but 4/9 in the evening at 7 p.m. Facing the Dead. Talking about Highlands Film Fest. We'll be here at 7 p.m. Center. So come on down for a nice movie. Looking forward to seeing it. The trailer's on YouTube, so Chasing the Dead for the movie was a great one. So going out for that on April 9th. A few more here. Registration for summer camp opens up on the 15th. That's a Friday. And early. Last couple of here starting eventually going back to Highlands Friday, April 23rd, Saturday. And then the last one, the comedy show. Don't forget to sign up for the comedy show, which is April 29th, Friday, down at the Firehouse. Doors open at 6, our show starts at 7. Support the Firehouse as well as Rec Center for adults. That's all I got. That's all I got.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll follow that. As liaisons for the schools, I'll start with the elementary school. There's an Easter egg hunt coming up on Saturday, March 26th. We're doing baskets from 1 to 3. There is a trick and trade fundraiser on February 8th from 5:30 to 8:30. During the time period of February 22nd through March 8th, they only had 8 cases of COVID. So as kids are easily able to get it, that's a great number. Each year, the New Jersey Department of Education invites public school districts to participate in the Exemplary Educator Recognition Program. Exemplary educators exhibit strong knowledge and skills, an inspiring presence, and a positive impact on students, colleagues, and the school community. For the current 2022 competition round, elementary educators from grades pre-K through 5 were considered. And a state certificate of recognition is given out to each candidate that is selected as an exemplary educator, and the elementary school has 2. The Governor's Educator of the Year is Matthew Perkins, and the Governor's Service Professional of the Year is Mary Nelson. Moving on to the high school, there's some good upcoming events. The musical Chicago is going to be done on March 25th. You can see it at 7. On March 26th, you can see it in the afternoon at 2 or 7 p.m. at night. On April 1st, they have quite a fundraiser. It's a spring fling auction. You can get tickets at the door. It's too late to pre-order them, so the price is going up some, but it includes sheets of chances. I believe it includes coffee, tea, dessert, and your entry will also include chances. As liaison to the finance department, first of all, I'm doing this. I don't know about everybody else, a lot of people's assessments went up this year. But with that tax rate, combined with the other tax rates that we incur, you're going to find most likely that your property tax is going to go down. So that is
will I be able to fill my gas tank?
But I will also say that last Saturday, Don and Karen and I attended a very informative 5-hour-long budgeting for elected officials seminar in West Windsor. It was sponsored by the New Jersey State League of Municipalities Continuing Professional Education Program. A business person, a business major, a business major, there's still always something to learn, especially when you're talking about how it applies to municipal budgets. I was blown away by it, and I think we all are.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it was great, and I really appreciate the opportunity that the county gave us to attend. And that's about it.
Yeah.
As a liaison for the Highlands Business Partnership, I apologize, I just walked out 20 minutes ago. No, listen, came back from Mexico, everywhere I go, I talk about Highlands. I do great marketing. But, looking at my report, destination marketing, NJ Division of Travel and Tourism, we have a grant for $19,250 for the year of 2022. The grant will be used to promote Highlands as a destination, which is what I do too, everywhere I go. We have some donations. HPP, curbside kindness and food drive. We have donated over 25,000 items to local food pantries since April 2020. During the pandemic, we are approved charity with Amazon to receive items for pantries, with mostly done. I have no glasses, I'm sorry. A quarterly basis, and it's an ongoing project. In February 2022, the police exporters got $2,500 from the HPP. March 28, 2022, 250 daily high-risk dancers. Scholarships, $2,000 to be awarded in May 2022. HES PTO auction, $180 value. HHRS, a gift auction for $180 value. We had some fundraisers, the 10th annual Chili Cook-Off St. Patrick's Parade, where we made the proceeds was $4,400. We had the event that couple of people won different prizes, trophies. Some good-looking guy from town, first place. Another guy from Manalapan. And like I said, the proceeds, $4,400. The 9th annual Guinness Run, that was off the hook, right? Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Nick. Same thing, proceeds, $46.50. Good money, yeah. 18th annual St. Patrick's Day Parade, that is coming up this Saturday, right? Grand Marshal Nancy, she's not here, but congratulations, and Amy. Anyway, it's going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully, we'll make a lot of money. It's going to be a great summer. Looking forward. And we have upcoming events. A couple of things that we talked about, people in the Highlands. I don't want to talk about it right now, but it's a surprise. And it's all looking great for the summer. Thank you.
Leo, where's all this money going?
Like I said, we're talking about the exporters, police exporters, helping out the town, buying stuff for the town, Christmas lights, a lot of stuff.
Okay.
Throughout the years.
I just wondered.
Paying for the pipers, paying for the bands, paying for, all that money comes from here. So there's no tax money going into this. This is HVP making the money for the town, for the events as well. Thank you.
Thank you. So as Leo said, parade step up is 2 p.m. at Cuddy Park on Saturday. Rain or shine event. Also, I have here, the first aid squad needs volunteers. You can volunteer to be a driver, or you can take some courses and be an EMR or an EMT. If you happen to be a registered nurse, you can test out, since you're required, of course. So that's something to consider. They always need members. And I think that's all I have. Anyone else have anything they'd like to add? I'll open it to the public. Anyone has any comments or questions?
May I speak my,
Just so we can hear later when we come to minutes.
I'm going to make a brief statement first. Individuals wishing to address the council may be recognized by the presiding officer and shall give their name, address, and the group, if any, they represent. Although the council encourages public participation, it reserves the right to its presiding officer to terminate remarks to and/or by any individual not in keeping with the conduct of a proper and efficient meeting. If any individual refuses to conduct themselves in a proper manner, they will be removed from the meeting. The council will not, during the public portion of this meeting, discuss matters involving employment, appointments, termination of employment, negotiations, terms and conditions of employment, evaluation of the performance of, promotion, or discipline of any specific or prospective or current employee. There's a 3-minute time limit for your comments.
If you could just give us your name and address for the record.
I'm Kristen Courtney, and I live at 100 Navigate Avenue, Dorchester Bay, apartment 8. Today, there is a significant field that's the Vista Bay apartment. Yes. And I saw people today with masks surveying and this and that. And then the gentleman asked me, you know, because he was on the ground and I'm up on the top of like this Manhattan for my, and unfortunately, yes, I can. So I pointed it to him and I said, what's going on in that? And he said, a park.
That is accurate?
You're making a park?
That's very cool.
Thank you. No, I'm sorry, but so many people go up there, so many people go through there, and the view is gorgeous from there. Nice work. Thank you. I saw the guy outside today, and I said, what are you doing? And he's like, oh, you know, I didn't know they would be condo, whatever, you know?
No, we're keeping it open.
I live in Vista Bay, and I just bought another condo in Shore Drive. So I have 2 properties in Highland. So that makes me so happy that you make a condo.
We're happy that you're happy.
I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled. So thank you. Thank you. That's all I wanted to know. It's so exciting. It's a beautiful view. It is. So thank you.
Okay. Well,
If you want to see,
nothing
that's
can
drawing, it's
possibly.
on the website.
Yes, it's on the website. Plan 4. Since nothing's ever going to follow that up, I'm
I am so excited. There's a park for everyone to enjoy. The view is astronomical. I got lucky. I got blessed with what I got. So thank you.
Okay, thank you all, and I'll close for the portion.
Had a great meeting. They got approved. We got a board.
Executive session is canceled for tonight.
And with that, I will motion to adjourn.
Yes, thank you so much.
All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting ends, adjourned at 7:58. Thank you, everyone.
Yes,
Thanks, everyone, for coming out.
Condo next to the hill.
May I have your last name?
Oh, Kristen, Kristen.
Courtney. Thank you, I remember seeing that.
I just put the general, I don't read that.